VMware is a pure hypervisor. Putting together a cluster environment, Cisco remains being the internet backbone. Apple's A4 is based on an ARM processor. Hello, welcome to the recording of NFS data stores using Ubuntu and then mounting that to an ESXi hypervisor. This is Jargon with John Zappia. Okay, here we are with our Ubuntu workstation, or server for that matter. What we need to do here is install the NFS server application onto Ubuntu. Now, we do that, which I have done already, by just doing the apt-get of the NFS server. The command is simple. Here you are. Sudo apt-get install NFS kernel server. And you hit enter. It'll actually download the whole application. I do have it on here already. If you did not have it, it would have prompted you with a message, and you could just hit Y and continue. So now that that is installed, the next step is to choose a directory you want to share out. In this case, we're going to make a directory called export and put shared into it. Here we are. Make directory. We could probably go the whole length. Nope. File already exists. Okay. That's because I do have it already. So let's just continue on and change the whole. What you want to do after you create the export and shared is you want to give it a 777 option. This is not advised on any other locations apart from the /TMP, because 777 makes everything within this directory accessible to edit or delete. From here, we're going to want to open up a command prompt and get into the etc exports file. Nano, by the way, is the same thing as VI. I like it. It's better. I'm more comfortable with it. I don't know if it's all that much more better, but here we are. So inside here, we're going to have to create. This is a program that's read on boot, and it looks for this file, and it looks for mountable objects, and our mountable object happens to be export shared. And that's all we need to do there. You exit out of here, save it, and then we need to just start the server applications. Now that we have the NFS server, we need ready to export the directory from the terminal. So we do that by going into sudo etc NFS kernel server start. Boom. And there it is. This is what you want to see. Starting NFS kernel, assuming default behavior subtree. This is all. If there's any errors in between here, you might want to go back and do the steps that we just previously did. Now, we can see the mount by going into the show mount command. And there it is, our mount. To allow the NFS server to start each time the machine is rebooted, we need to update a few of the default prompts. To do that, we start with these commands. That's it. From here, the machine will start the NFS server each time it mounts. Now that Ubuntu is prepared to be an NFS mount point for ESXi, I opened up my vSphere client to my ESXi server. I'm going to go into inventory, I'm going to go into the host, configuration, storage, and here's my current storages. I'm going to add a network file system, which is an NFS connection. The server's IP address, I haven't shown you this before, but it's 1.207. There it is. You do an ifconfig 1.207 back here, 192.168.1.207. It's the IP address. I'm on the same subnet, so it's not going to be an issue. Otherwise, you have to make sure that ESXi is configured with the default gateway so it can get there. So from here, you go to export/shared. That was the name of the NFS point that we made on the Ubuntu box. And then from here, we can just give it a name. I'm going to click next, finish. It'll actually connect and build it. And there it is. Voila. We'll browse the data store, create a folder called NFS. So we have an NFS data store in there. We'll go over to the Ubuntu server and we'll do an ls from within inside the export shared mount point. And there it is. Okay, I'm going to clear this out because I used to do this here from before. I just wanted to do the demonstration before I actually videoed it for better viewing. So here we are. Now I'm going to delete that NFS share, go back to the Ubuntu server and do an ls, and it is gone. As you can see, we used Ubuntu to be an NFS mount point for an ESXi host. Now, why is this good? Well, ESXi can use this NFS mount point between multiple hypervisors or hosts to store files. You put ISOs in here, which, operating systems, and you can use those mounted. Say you had a hypervisor here, another hypervisor here, another hypervisor here that you would currently sometimes see with inside vCenter. Well, each one of the hypervisors could be mounted to this point, and then if you wanted to have VMDK files for a server here, but then you wanted to move this server to another hypervisor, which I don't have, you could just move it and the virtual machine would move. The files would be still over there in the NFS data store. The NFS data stores are really an underrated technology as far as it goes for off-site or off of the VMware type of storage. On the flip side of that, Fiber Channel and iSCSI are kind of overrated. This was free and it's there. I could actually do NIC teaming and put some serious connection between the hypervisor and the Ubuntu server for 2 gig of speed of bandwidth. But that's getting out of this realm of this jargon video, so I'm going to leave it as that. I thank you for watching and I hope it was informative. Goodbye.